You wipe down the bathroom mirror, you scrub the sink, you mop the floor, and then, not even 3 days later, you run your finger along the top of the toilet tank, and it comes back gray. That thin, powdery layer of dust has returned like it never left. Here's something most people don't realize. The bathroom is actually one of the dustiest rooms in the entire house. Not the living room, not the bedroom, the bathroom. And if you're cleaning it every week but still fighting that constant grimy film on every surface, there's a reason for that. Actually, there are 5 specific reasons, and none of them have anything to do with how well you're cleaning. I'm John Marcus, and on this channel, we focus on cleaning smarter, not harder, especially for those of us who've earned the right to stop doing things the hard way. So if your bathroom has been frustrating you, stick around. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what's causing all that dust, and more importantly, what you can actually do about it. And if this kind of practical, no-nonsense advice is useful to you, a quick click on that subscribe button means you'll never miss a new video from us here at Seniors Cleaning Hacks. We'd love to have you as part of the family. Reason number 1, the hidden connection between steam and dust. Let's start with something that might seem completely counterintuitive. You'd think that a room full of moisture and steam would wash dust away, kind of like rain clears the air outside. But what actually happens is the exact opposite. When you take a hot shower or run a steaming bath, that warm, humid air fills the bathroom and carries microscopic particles right along with it. These particles float freely while the air is warm. But as the steam begins to cool and settle, it doesn't just evaporate and disappear. It condenses. It turns into a fine, almost invisible film of moisture that coats every surface in the room. And when it does, it takes all those airborne particles right down with it. Think of it like this. That moisture acts as a kind of glue. Dust particles that would otherwise float around and eventually drift out of an open door now get anchored to your shelves, your baseboards, the top of your toilet tank, the ledge around your tub. They stick, and then more particles land on top of those, and more on top of those. This is why you might notice that the dust in your bathroom doesn't just look powdery. It sometimes looks almost waxy or slightly clumped. That's moisture at work, binding everything together into a thin, stubborn layer that clings rather than wipes away easily. The fix isn't complicated, but it does require consistency. Running a small dehumidifier in the bathroom, even just for 30 minutes after a shower, makes a significant difference. Keeping the bathroom door open after bathing also helps the moisture disperse through the larger air volume of the hallway rather than condensing on every surface. Small habits, repeated daily, completely change the game over time. Reason number 2, your ventilation fan may be working against you. Speaking of airflow, let's talk about that exhaust fan above your shower. Most people assume that as long as it turns on, it's doing its job. But here's something worth checking. When was the last time you cleaned it? Exhaust fans accumulate dust on their grills and internal blades faster than almost any other fixture in the house. And when the blades are coated in dust, the fan can't move air efficiently. It's essentially just spinning inside a clogged vent, recirculating the same particle-heavy air around the room rather than pulling it outside where it belongs. Poor ventilation is one of the leading contributors to bathroom dust buildup, because airflow is the primary mechanism by which particles get cleared out of a room. Without proper ventilation, those particles have nowhere to go. They stay suspended in the air longer, eventually landing on every horizontal surface they can find. And in a bathroom, there are plenty of those. The maintenance here is something you can do yourself in about 10 minutes. Unplug the fan or trip its circuit breaker, then pop off the grill cover. Most covers snap off or are held by small screws. Use a vacuum with a brush attachment to clear the dust from the grill, and then use a dry microfiber cloth to wipe down the blades inside. When you reassemble it, you'll likely notice it sounds different, quieter and more powerful at the same time. That's the sound of proper airflow returning. Beyond the fan itself, if your bathroom doesn't have a working exhaust fan at all, consider a portable air purifier with a HEPA filter. These units are relatively affordable, easy to move, and they actively capture the particles that would otherwise settle on your surfaces. For seniors especially, this is a worthwhile investment, not just for dust, but for overall air quality. The health case. Why this matters more than you might think. Before we move on to the next reason, I want to pause here for a moment because I think it's important to understand why all of this matters beyond just aesthetics. Bathroom dust isn't inert. It isn't just a bit of grime that looks unpleasant. It's a cocktail of skin cells, hair fibers, microscopic mold spores, soap residue, and, depending on your home's age and water quality, mineral particles from your plumbing. For anyone living with asthma, seasonal allergies, or a chronic respiratory condition, inhaling that mixture regularly is genuinely problematic. The humidity in bathrooms means that mold spores, which are always present in some quantity in any home, thrive here more than anywhere else. Dust doesn't just carry those spores, it provides a surface for them to settle and grow. And when mold takes root on a dusty, damp shelf or behind a bottle of shampoo, it spreads much faster than most people expect. This is particularly relevant for older adults, whose immune systems may not respond to airborne irritants as efficiently as they once did. Keeping the bathroom genuinely clean, not just visually clean but particle clean, is a meaningful health choice, not just a housekeeping preference. If you've found this useful so far, this might be a good moment to share this video with someone who could benefit from it. A family member, a neighbor, a friend. The share button is right below. We'd be grateful. Reason number 3. You and your towels are both shedding. Now here's the one that surprises most people the most. And honestly, it surprised me the first time I learned about it too. Every single time you dry off after a shower, your towel is releasing microscopic fibers into the air. Every time you use a square of toilet paper, those fibers do the same. Cotton and paper products shed constantly during use. And in a small, enclosed room like a bathroom, those fibers accumulate quickly. But it doesn't stop with the linens. Your own body contributes significantly. The average adult sheds somewhere between 30,000 and 40,000 dead skin cells every hour. In the bathroom, where we're actively grooming, shaving, exfoliating, brushing our hair, that number accelerates dramatically. Every pass of a razor across your cheek, every stroke of a hairbrush, every time you towel dry your hair vigorously, you're releasing particles into the air that will eventually settle on every surface in that room. Hair strands are particularly notable because they break down into smaller fibers over time, and those smaller fibers are light enough to stay airborne for extended periods. They then combine with the moisture and soap residue on surfaces to form that stubborn, almost felty layer of dust you sometimes find on baseboards and behind the toilet. The practical takeaway here is to wash your bathroom towels more frequently than you might currently be doing. Many people wash bathroom towels every week or two, but every 3 to 4 days is closer to ideal, especially if you're noticing significant dust buildup. Also, shaking out your towels outside the bathroom before hanging them reduces the fiber shedding that happens when you first unfurl them. Reason number 4. The invisible contribution of soap and shampoo residue. This one operates differently from the others, but it plays a supporting role that amplifies everything else on this list. Soap, shampoo, and other grooming products don't generate dust on their own, but the residue they leave on surfaces, that thin, slightly tacky film you sometimes feel on the counter or on shower tiles, acts as a magnet for every other particle in the room. Dust that might otherwise bounce off a clean, smooth surface and eventually gets swept away instead adheres to this residue and stays put. You've probably noticed this effect in a more dramatic form if you've ever let soap scum build up on shower walls. That scum isn't just soap. It's soap residue combined with minerals from your water, skin cells, hair, and general airborne particles, all compressed together by repeated wetting and drying cycles. The surface dust in the rest of your bathroom follows the same logic, just on a subtler, slower scale. This means that regular, thorough wiping of bathroom surfaces, not just a quick swipe with a damp cloth, but a proper wipe down with a mild cleaner, breaks the cycle. When surfaces are clean and non-sticky, dust has nowhere to anchor. It remains loose and airborne, which means your ventilation system can do its job and move it out of the room. Microfiber cloths are especially effective here because the microscopic fibers in the cloth physically trap and lift particles rather than just moving them around. Pair a microfiber cloth with a light spray of white vinegar and water, and you have a simple, inexpensive tool that outperforms most commercial bathroom cleaners for dust and residue removal. Reason number 5. Clutter is dust's best friend. The last reason is the most controllable of all five, and in some ways, the most satisfying to address because the results are immediate and visible. Every object on a bathroom surface, every bottle of lotion, every decorative soap dish, every candle, every framed piece of wall art, is both a dust collector and a dust blocker. Dust collects on top of and around each item, and each item creates a small dead zone behind it, where airflow doesn't reach, meaning dust settles there and isn't disturbed until you physically move the object. Think about the back corner of your bathroom counter. If there are 6 or 7 items clustered there, a cotton ball jar, a few hair accessories, a candle you haven't lit in months, that area probably hasn't been properly wiped down since those items were first placed there. The dust in those corners and behind those objects can be thick, compacted, and occasionally moist from humidity, which creates exactly the conditions where mold can begin to develop. This isn't about living in a bare, minimalist space. It's about being intentional with what lives on your bathroom surfaces. Things that are used daily can stay within easy reach. Things that are used occasionally should be stored in a cabinet or drawer. Things that are purely decorative are worth reconsidering entirely, or at minimum, rotating out periodically so the surfaces beneath them get proper attention. A bathroom with fewer items on its surfaces is dramatically easier to clean, dries faster after steam exposure, and accumulates significantly less dust between cleanings. The declutter is one of those changes that feels small until you've done it, and then you wonder why you waited so long. So let's bring all 5 of these together into a practical picture. Your bathroom is dusty because moisture from steam weighs particles down and glues them to surfaces. Because poor ventilation, often a clogged exhaust fan, traps those particles in the room. Because your own grooming routine, your towels, and your toilet paper release fibers constantly into the air. Because soap residue on your surfaces creates a sticky foundation that holds everything in place. And because clutter provides dozens of little hiding spots where dust accumulates undisturbed. The good news is that none of these problems require expensive solutions. A consistent wiping routine with a microfiber cloth, a cleaned exhaust fan, some attention to moisture management, freshly washed towels, and a decluttered counter can transform a chronically dusty bathroom into one that stays genuinely clean between your weekly cleans. One approach that works well for a lot of people is what I'd call the 60-second bathroom reset. After your morning routine, before you leave the bathroom, take 1 minute to wipe down the counter, run a dry cloth over the mirror, and open the door wide to let air circulate. That's it. 60 seconds. Over the course of a week, those 7 small resets add up to a bathroom that never gets a chance to accumulate a serious dust layer in the first place. Dust in the bathroom is one of those problems that feels mysterious until you understand where it actually comes from. And once you do, it stops feeling like an inevitable part of life and starts feeling like something you can genuinely manage with the right knowledge and a few practical habits. If this video helped things click for you, the like button is a wonderful way to let us know, and it helps other people find this content when they're searching for answers to the same problem. Every like genuinely makes a difference for a small channel like ours. And if you're new here and you want more straightforward, practical cleaning guidance built specifically for the way we live as we get older, without all the complicated products and physical strain, then subscribe. We put out new videos regularly, and we always try to make sure every single one is worth your time. I'm John Marcus. Keep your spaces clean and keep living well.